We're starting out laying down, so come on down and get comfortable. Close your eyes and breathe through your nose. And I just want to invite you to find any kind of free-form laying down place that feels good to you. So maybe rest one hand on your belly, one on your chest. And from there, it's really nice to feel the gentle rise and fall of your body as it accommodates your breath. Listen to the sound of your breath. And if you're breathing through your nose and you put a little bit of a constriction in your throat as you breathe, you can make a roaring sound with the breath in your ears. It's very comforting. So with each inhale, see if you could draw in a little more air. Expand a little more into the front side of your body. With your exhales, could you let go a little bit more each time? Empty the lungs more completely and relax more fully. As you continue to breathe and lengthen out your breath more and more, let your jaw let go. Let it hang slack. Okay, maybe your teeth are very far away from each other. Allow your forehead to relax. The eyes sink back in your head. And this is a great chance for us to notice where we hold tension. So as you begin to really let your body relax here, notice where it's extra difficult to relax. And here's the hard part. So without judging yourself and without trying to change or fix anything right now, just notice where you're holding your tension. Continue to relax and release and just observe what happens. Maybe you notice your hips or your glutes are a little bit tense. Maybe you notice your chest. And keep that long, slow breath and that same perspective of compassionate observation, okay, with your body and your practice. Take your arms out wide here. You might make goalposts out of your arms, okay, cactus arms, so that you can allow your chest to spread open nicely, and maybe you even scoot your shoulder blades deeper down underneath your rib cage and feel a bigger chest. And let's start to wake up your lower body. So with a little bend in your knees, and maybe your feet a bit wide. If you have a mat, then maybe you walk your feet even off your mat. We'll start to drop the knees side to side. And you could keep your eyes closed. As a matter of fact, I'll try to present all of my suggestions for this half hour in such a way that you don't even need to look at me. You can just close your eyes and rest them, please. So maybe at first this is a very passive movement and you're just letting gravity kind of take the knees down, and go ahead and stick with whatever level of activity suits the vibe of your practice today. But maybe if you want to open up in the hips a little more, you start to activate the knees downward more firmly. Notice how that feels in your inner and your outer hip, side to side. So we're not only warming and opening the inner and outer hip here, but we're also giving your low back a really good massage and rigging it out. As a matter of fact, you might feel some cracks and pops. And in general, if it feels good, it's okay. If it doesn't feel good, just take a little break, maybe ease off. Okay, next time your knees point up, pause there and turn your toes to face in toward each other and knock your knees together, okay? And this is gonna make like a little tent shape out of your legs. And maybe it's possible you could even pick your hips up, point your tailbone at the ceiling, and put your low back a little closer to the floor. Let your low body rest like this and release your low back just passively here. Let's move the upper body around a little bit. So keeping your cactus arms low toward the floor, okay? Keeping them low. Think of inhaling and reaching far out behind you, extending your arms. As you exhale, pull your cactus arms all the way down until your elbows come close to you and you can reach for your feet, okay? So inhale, cactus arms reach up. Exhale, cactus arms reach down. Take a few more like this, okay? So one of the keys is keeping your arms low, and that's going to allow that really pleasant expansion across your chest. Because, yes, we hold so much tension in our chest and our shoulders. Fortunately, we have yoga to help us let it go. Next time you reach your arms up, hold your upper body like that. We're going to reach the legs out too, so long as you can be. Take a huge stretch and think of wrapping your belly button down toward the floor and getting even longer. So what happens when we make this a little longer on the right side? Let's try that. Reach out a little longer through your right toes and your right fingers, adding a little bit of contraction in your left side body. And now you're making this gently curving kind of banana shape on the floor. And let's take a few breaths here. Pull your belly button down so that your low back doesn't sway off of the floor. And maybe reach the hands and feet a little further to the left. So you feel that big stretch across your right side. Big breath into that. Let's switch sides. Come back through center. And we'll reach this little banana shape, okay, to the other side. So lengthen through the left side a little more. Contract in the right side and start to curve yourself to the right. I call this a banana pose. So remember to get that big stretch across the left side by breathing deeply into it. Maybe one more breath here. And let's bring the legs and arms back through center. From here, bring your right knee in toward your chest. And then you can take your hands on top of your shin if your knees are pretty healthy and you have no knee injuries. If you have a knee injury, protect your knee joint by putting your hands behind your thigh, okay? So you decide which one suits you best. Either way, trap your knee and ground your shoulder blades. Okay. Sometimes you feel them kind of peeling up off the floor. Continue to encourage them down. And I like to scoot them under my rib cage just for a little extra press down, okay? And begin to squeeze and hug the right knee in towards your heart. Let's take some long, slow breaths while we do this, okay? So I want you to kind of interpret and make this action your own and just kind of work it to serve you best. So start to wiggle the knee side to side. Wiggle it to the right, wiggle it to the left. And not only are you gently massaging all that hip tissue, okay, should feel really nice, but you're also kind of looking for where it's most tense. Is it more tense toward the midline when you move the knee to the left? Is it more tense toward the away from the midline? You find where that spot is and then hold it on that really tense place. Breathe. Remember, we're not looking for pain, so back off of pain. But maybe you lean into a feeling of release, okay? In that hip, that right hip. Maybe one nice big breath in here, just squeezing any last little bit of tension out of that right hip flexor. And then release the shin, if you had your shin, and we'll all meet with our fingers interlaced behind the thigh. And let's address your right hamstring a little more directly here. So flex your right foot at the ankle, push up through the heel, and just see how far you want to extend that leg. Whatever agrees with your hamstring, okay? The big muscle under your hands. If it hurts, keep a bigger bend in the knee. But here's where we're going with this. We want to find that spot where you feel okay extending the knee and move it into your chest just like we did before. Ground the shoulder blades just like we did before. And then we'll start to pull the right heel in toward the glute and then press it back up toward the ceiling. So almost like you're trying to slowly kick yourself in the rear and then kick the ceiling. And we'll take a few more breaths like that, moving like that. So breathe, move. Find a pleasant opening in your right hamstring every time you push the heel up. You can feel the hamstring moving under your hands. It's a big muscle, big group of muscles, I should say. And it carries a lot of our tension. Next time you push up into the heel, hold right here. We'll enjoy this for a bit. So I want you to put a really good flex in the right ankle, okay? Pull the toes back toward you and push through the heel. You feel that calf stretch? That's good. Now, can we move the knee a little closer? Continue to breathe. Could we push a little more through the heel? Continue to breathe. One last big breath here in this nice stretch. And then let that go. We're going to bend into the right knee again. Let's bring in the left foot. We're going to plant the left foot by the left glute here. And you can stack that right ankle on top of your left knee and just let go of it. You can take your arms into cactus arms here. And then we have this figure four shape now with our legs. So figure four shape, the right knee is pointing to the right heel is hooked on the left knee. And if you keep a really nice flex in your left ankle, then it's easier to keep the leg hooked, okay? So let's see if we could really start to push the right knee away. So when you notice, when you're pushing the right knee away, not using your hands, of course, but just using the strength of your right outer hip, you feel the right inner hip letting go. And that's what we're looking for. So find that perfect amount of right inner hip opening and stay right there. Remember, do not be tempted to help your leg and push it. I know it's tempting to help, but just use the strength of the outer hip. Now see if you could keep that outer hip activation just like it is. Keep the figure four shape quite crystallized and start to drop your legs side to side, okay? Nice and slow. And so you'll start to feel a really gentle twisting up through your low back. Keep the figure four. And remember to breathe, okay? When in doubt, breathe. Okay, next time your knees drop to the right, let's pause there. So your right knee is close to the floor and your left foot is on the floor. We're really just going to move one thing. So shimmy the left foot over to the left until your left knee has dropped as low as you'd like it to drop, and then pause right there and breathe. Look to the left. And feel this gentle twist roll all the way up your spine. If you want a little more, you can activate the knees and the feet more downward, but keep flexing your ankles. As you ground your shoulder blades for this last breath or two, see if you could lift your heart up, grounding your shoulder blades at the same time. Maybe one more breath here in this very gentle twist. Let's rock it back up to center. And then we'll get the right foot back on the floor. And let's take a few more windshield wipers, okay? Just dropping the knees side to side. So this is a great point for us to notice if there's any difference between the right and left hip. Willing to bet that there probably is. Probably right hip feels a lot more open. Let's even it out. So next time your knees point up, pause, extend the right leg, and let's bring the left knee in. Remember, you can grab your shin or behind the knee. It's really up to you. But ground your shoulder blades. Pull that knee in. And then start talking to your left hip flexor. And we can start to move the hip side to side. Okay, two things going on. We have this nice little massage as we move it around. Move our femur around in the hip socket. But we're also looking for areas of tension. You might not have any. You might be one of the lucky ones. But if you find a tense spot, hold it there now and just breathe. Ground your shoulder blades, lift your heart, hold that belly button down. And then let's let go of this and transition to getting into the hamstring of the left leg. So if your hands are on your shin, go ahead and bring them to your thigh. Fingers interlaced behind the left thigh. And let's extend the left knee. Heel presses up. Okay, and find where kind of a comfortable inward pulling point would be. Okay, you've got your leg, you're encouraging it towards you, but there's no pain in your hamstring, okay, and your shoulder blades are grounded. And we'll start to pull the heel in toward the glute and then kick it up. So a few times, moving, heel pulls in, heel presses up. Okay, keep your ankle flexed. And next time you press up, let's pause right there, okay? Okay, so we've got that hamstring talking to us a little bit. Make sure it feels good. And then we notice that over time, when we hold in these postures, okay, your muscles will let go a little bit. After about 30 seconds in any lengthened position, your muscles tend to release a little bit. So maybe you can encourage the knee a little closer. Maybe you could flex the ankle a little more. Maybe you could press the heel a little higher. Breathe. Nice space in the back of that leg. We hold a lot of tension there. All right, release that, okay? Allow that heel to pull back in towards your glute. And then we'll transition to a figure four. So bring the right foot in back by your glutes. Again, knee points up. And we can flex that left ankle and stack it on the right knee. Let go, make some cactus arms here. And move that left knee away from you, not with your hands, but with the intrinsic strength of your incredible left outer hip. So find that left inner hip opening. Hold it right there where it feels just right. and crystallize your figure 4. Are you ready to twist? So keep your shoulder blades grounded as you drop the legs side to side. Slow and controlled. Okay, we'd much rather go with slow control, wouldn't we? And cultivate that stability. Breathe. Feel that gentle ringing out in your low and middle back. Okay, next time your knees drop to the left, pause there. Okay, let's enjoy this little twist. So we can look to the right. The twist rolls all the way up to the base of your skull that way. And we're just gonna move the right foot. We'll shimmy it over to the right until the right knee comes low. And maybe activate the feet and the knees downward, or maybe let it be a little bit more passive. Okay, you decide what you want in that right outer hip. Okay, make sure it feels good. As you twist here, press the shoulder blades down and think of lifting your chest. Take your time rocking this back into center. Come on back. Okay, both feet down. This time, let's bring the knees up and in toward the chest. So bring your knees up and in, and then grab one knee in each hand. And we can stir each femur around in the hip socket. Stir it, big circles. Make it kind of silly. Okay, rewind that. And then next time your knees are in by your chest, pause here. Reach between your knees and grab your shins. So you just start with your hands on the top of your shins. And then if you could make your shoulder blades a little extra heavy here, could you draw your knees a little closer toward the ground? Notice how grounded the back of your body feels here, and exaggerate that. Press your back body down. If everything's going well here, you can reach for the outsides of your feet and grab that. Maybe draw the knees a little more down. And then if you're still feeling pretty good, try moving your heels up toward the ceiling. And they don't have to go super far, okay? And you'll feel the backs of your legs opening up. So make sure it feels right. And maybe today, maybe another day, who knows, maybe another lifetime. Your feet are flat facing the ceiling, and you're still drawing your knees downward and still grounding the back of your body. Breathe into your hips. Maybe one more breath here in your happy baby posture. As you're ready, release all of that. Drop your feet to the floor. Take your arms back into a cactus shape and just move your hips slightly to the right. Let your knees drop to the left. And we're looking to the right here. Let this gentle twist just ring you out. I'm taking our last few breaths of the practice before we rest. Long spine inhale. With your exhales, think of drawing your belly button into your spine, strengthening the muscles that surround and support your incredible low back. Let's take a few breaths on the other side, okay? Swing the legs back through center. Maybe scoot your hips a little to the left and drop your knees to the right. Look to the left. Shoulder blades are grounded. Long spine, inhale. Belly button to spine, exhale. Feel any last bits of tension draining out of your body right here. Let's bring it back to center. And then extend your legs to be long. Extend your arms to be long too. Find yourself in Shavasana, your resting posture. And close your eyes. Breathe through your nose. And let go completely. Let go all control of your breath, body, or mind. Let go. This is your chance to soak up the magic of your practice. And cultivate a blissful moment for yourself here. Think of something very, very good. Let's raise the vibration all together here for a moment, okay? Please continue resting like this for as long as you can. Maybe even take a nap if that's possible. Thank you so much for joining me.